back to Studio F on Fast Times Willy B. We'll be reviewing Joker in honor of Joker Folie, Deux coming out. Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds.
Russell.
Welcome back to Fast Times Willy B. I'm Willy B. I got Kory back. Kory, how the hell you doing?
Don't call me Kory. I'd rather you call me Joker.
Joker. I'm going to call you Arthur.
Yeah, that's just going to get confusing for the review. Kory works.
That's fair. So today we'll be reviewing Joker, obviously, with the next installment coming out today.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be diving into the first one that got us where we're at going into the second one.
Yes, and this will certainly be our first time recording this, right?
Yes.
No.
Back in January, we got practice.
Yeah, 40 minutes of practice.
So, nonetheless, back in October of 2019, Todd Phillips, the director, pumped out this beautiful film.
Mm-hmm.
It did win an Oscar.
Hangover films.
Yeah, did win an Oscar.
Did win an Oscar.
Best score.
And Joaquin won Best Actor.
Oh yeah, it won 2 Oscars.
That's funny.
You can attempt the name.
Hilda Nuda del Toro, I think is how you say that.
Woof.
Yeah. I mean, fantastic composer. She also did Sicario.
Okay.
Yeah.
She
Unless that was Johan
She made a name
Johnson.
for herself.
Yes. Yeah, she did. She did. She also did some video game stuff, too. Yeah. She's fantastic.
Joaquin Phoenix, already mentioned.
Yeah.
Won Best Actor.
Yes, it did.
You and I both fans of him long before Joker. I know I loved him in Signs.
For sure.
We've talked about that on this channel. We did the Alien movie draft together.
I don't even know what the first thing I saw Joaquin Phoenix in.
Walk the Line, maybe.
Maybe. It's probably Signs, too.
Yeah. I mean, that came out when we were...
I saw part of Gladiator when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Maybe.
But nonetheless, we know what he is capable of.
Yeah.
You got Robert De Niro. You got Zazie Beetz. Amongst Brian Tyree Henry makes a cameo in this movie.
I love Brian Tyree Henry.
Oh,
two Atlanta alumni, by the way, with Zazie Beetz and or Zazie, however you say, and Brian Tyree Henry.
Yeah. But nonetheless, whopping the good. And I know for myself, a lot of this movie falls in the good. Actually, probably all of this movie falls in the good for me.
I think all of it. I think I only have one meh, and that's the ending, but we'll get there.
Yeah. We'll start with my big good. That's the cinematography. I think this is one of the most beautiful movies I've ever watched.
Sure.
My first watch experience wasn't that great. I didn't see this when it came out in theaters.
What was your set? What was your first
I was
set?
on a plane about 2 weeks after it came out.
Oh.
And I watched it on the plane. I was surprised the plane even had it because it was only a couple weeks old.
Really?
And I was like, when I get home, when I land, the first thing I'm doing is rewatching this movie. So I watched it twice within like 24 hours.
Oh, really?
That was my first time. Yeah.
Okay. Did you like it better than the second time?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
that's
what I'm saying. Like, to like a movie as much as I did on a plane.
Yeah.
Goes to show.
Watch it again. Yeah, I watched Baby Driver on a plane, and I'm like, if somebody wants to rewatch it someday, I'd love to. But other than that, I'm not wasting my time watching it again. I did like that movie. My first watch of that movie was incredible.
Yeah.
Because I was in New York City Comic Con.
Oh.
I was in New York City for New York City Comic Con. I met Billy D. Williams that day, I think.
Yeah.
A true Star Wars alum. And then me and the group of guys I went with, we went and saw Joker in IMAX. That was my first time seeing a movie in IMAX. It was Joker in New York City, in the heart of the city. And then after we just walked around and talked about the movie while we walked around the city. We could have gotten murdered, but...
I envy you.
You know what? Fair enough, man. My life sucks, but that part was awesome. I'm just kidding.
But no, it's a work of art. And that's what me and my one buddy...
Absolutely.
When this came out, I was a bartender back at B-Dubs, and me and my buddy, we always talked movies, and we both said the same. It's art. It's not even a movie. It's a piece of art. I mean, in which you could argue, like, obviously all movies are art, but like,
sure. I mean,
this is just like, it felt like Todd Phillips painted this picture for us.
Sure.
And it was just beautiful. I mean,
sure.
Obviously, when you talk about the ending, the scenes with the Gotham burning up and him on top of the hood of the car, like, it's just...
Oh, that's still one of my... That was my... My cover photo on Twitter for a long time was him standing on the top of the car. Because, I mean, phenomenal cinematography. The score there is, fucking beautiful.
The score in the entire movie, if we want to keep going with the good, there's a reason she won.
I mean,
best score.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, first things first. Yeah, the score. I remember one of the first things, a review that I heard from this movie that has always stuck with me every time I watch the movie. The music absolutely evolves with Arthur as the movie goes on, because it starts off, it's like a sad clown, down on his luck, whatever, and then it just gets bolder and bolder and louder as the movie goes on. Then by the end, when you get that, the score's literally called, Call Me Joker.
Yeah,
it's like triumphant and it's incredible.
And I just, this was a movie, going into it, obviously, you know what you got from Heath Ledger, you know what you got from Jack Nicholson, and then you just get this third performance, you're like,
Cesar
man.
Romero.
Well, yes. We'll leave one name out of there for sure.
Yeah, I'm fine with that too.
It's just like, we've been spoiled with this character.
Yeah, for sure.
And
for sure.
When you're getting another movie, you're like,
4 for 5.
Well, yeah. We're getting... You got that risk, though, where you're like, okay, we've done this before. We've done this before. Yeah. Like, the more you do it, the more likely they are to get a Jared Leto.
Sure.
And so... I was just blown away, man.
Yeah.
And, even with rewatches, it still is just so good. It's one of those movies that I can rewatch a lot. It has a lot of replay value for me.
Yeah, me too, and I'm not really sure why, if I'm honest. Because
it's a longer movie, and
it's I don't want to say it's slow, but it's not like action packed.
No,
it's not even. I don't. Something about it is rewatchable, and also, to be fair, set design deserves its own, because that 80s, the aesthetic of the movie. My goodness. I mean, if you're gonna do dirty, grimy, shitty New York Gotham, I mean, honestly, to me, the Gotham in this rings most closely to, like, honestly, Burton's Gotham. Yeah. Just the trash in the streets and the, it's not exactly like the Batman levels of, like, noir, whatever. But it's just like, it's a gross place to live.
Yeah.
Awful.
It's beautiful.
It is.
When people talk about what's the best Gotham, I feel like this one never really gets talked about, which
that's just
it's kind of crazy to think about. That's like, it is Gotham, you know? It needs to be added to the conversation.
I think it deserves to be added to the conversation. I get the complaint it can be a little New York-y, but they add VFX on top of it to kind of add to it. And to be honest, like, I would take this Gotham over, like, a Zack Snyder Gotham any day. Yeah. Where it just looks like bays and metal squares everywhere.
Let's be real, like,
it's got personality.
The New York-y stuff, though, is some of the best scenes, too. Like, that subway scene.
Yeah, phenomenal.
One of my favorite scenes of the movie.
Oh, my God, yeah. I think the thing that I remember getting me excited about the movie, even though, like, I was hoping for more comic book Jokers. Like, I was hoping he'd be the Joker by the end of the movie and whatever. Yeah. But still, for some reason, in that trailer, I love that shot. Him smoking that cigarette when he's walking down that hallway.
Yeah.
Yeah, phenomenal.
I mean, just so many great shots. The camera works great. We've already mentioned the cinematography. Costume. I mean, that's something you can't left unsaid. I love the look, obviously. I mean,
he's up the
I have him up here on the wall.
Yeah, I do like that, because it's a different interpretation of the joke. There's some inspiration in there.
Yeah.
From some other things, but usually he's not in orange and yellow.
No.
Which... All right, it's not. It's like a red. I don't even know what the fuck that is, but it's
colorful.
Good. It's good. Yeah.
Uses the colors on this side of the wall a lot.
Yeah.
But and it's just a unique story too. I mean, in every adaptation of the Joker, it's obviously been a Batman movie, and so we kind of are just getting that wisecrack Joker. That's Batman's evil villain. And this one, I liked seeing the background. I loved seeing like shit he's going through. You almost feel for the guy. You do feel for the guy.
I mean, you do.
You're like, obviously what he does in the end is never the answer. But like this whole movie, you're like, he's the bad guy, but you're rooting for him because you see his darkest moments. You see the shit he has to go through day after day after day. You're just like, man, this guy can't catch a break.
For sure. And I'm actually into again, the first time I watched it, I still had a great experience, and I was like, I feel weird about it, but I did like that movie.
Yeah.
On rewatches, when I was able to separate comic book from, but the inspirations of like the Killing Joke, where he's just a down on his luck comedian, which is what he is in that movie, and then also like the inspirations of King of Comedy and things like that. And I definitely enjoyed the interpretation because I like that this Joker he just stumbles into everything.
Yeah.
You know, like whenever people like him, you know, they think it's for a greater reason or whatever, and he's just like, I'm just glad people like me. Like, he doesn't, he isn't, that, and whenever he says he's not political, that's not true, but there's also truth to that, I would say.
Yeah. Some shots that really stuck out with me, a scene that I love is when he gets let go and he's like, don't forget to punch out, which is the reason for the first time we recorded. But that
scene should have just skipped over this part.
Which just improvised even adds to, it being improvised adds to it.
I still wonder, because they said when they said that was improvised, just imagine a different universe where that did not fall off the wall.
Or just imagine a universe where, like,
that thing?
Everybody loses it. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I guess you could just cut the audio of everybody, because...
That's true.
But, like...
How long would he have punched that? That's all I want to know. How long would he have went after that until he was like, well, I guess I'm going. Shit.
The scene where we get the makeup for the first time, we have the tears, and he's pulling. That's another just shot that I'm in love with.
Intro? Yeah. Great cinematography there, too. I actually really like the cinematography when everyone falls out of the subway cars and they're beating the shit out of... Shea Wiggum, one of those cops? Or am I making that in my head? Pretty sure it is. Shea Wiggum and the other cop are beating the tar out of him, and he just gloats and takes off the mask and does a little dance. It's just carnage everywhere.
I love the dances, like just up and down the stairs in the bathroom.
Interesting choice.
Yeah.
But and once you realize that it's like every time he does that dance, he gains like more confidence.
Yeah.
I like that.
Also, whatever Joaquin went through to look, like, I mean... Kudos to him.
Yeah, for sure. I also respect him when he didn't make up some bullshit about, like, I was so sick and twisted from losing weight and getting into the mind of the character. People were just like, did that taint your mind at all? He's like, no, not really. I just kind of got grumpy because I was hungry. I was like, fair enough. Because after Heath Ledger, everyone's like, what does it do to you and whatever. I think terrific. I'm glad. I like his attitude about it. I still like that at premieres. He's just showing up in a freaking zip-up jacket and sweatpants or whatever.
Joaquin Phoenix is the man, dude.
Yeah, he is.
He's somebody you gotta love.
It's hard to hate him.
Yeah. I still need to see Beau is Afraid. Speaking of,
me too.
Joaquin Phoenix, that's one that eluded me, but I've heard mixed reviews. So,
yeah,
but that's for another day. But yeah, man. I mean, we can go on and on, but at the end of the day, this is just one of those movies for me that, I mean, you'll see it when we talk about scores. It's hard for me to find anything I don't like about it.
I agree with that. Again, once you separate comic book from it, I mean, it's just a phenomenal movie.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people say it's Taxi Driver light. I don't think that's incorrect in a way, but I think there's also more here to glean from that than just that. I actually watched a video the other day where a director, I don't hate him. I don't even dislike. I like him, but I'm not a huge Tarantino guy. But I do like the way he talks about movies.
Yeah,
he talked about the atmosphere of the theater changing whenever it turns into the scene where he's with Robert De Niro or whatever. And you really, I didn't really realize it, but when he said that, I mean, no matter how you feel about the movies, you're like, this is barely a DC movie. This is whoa. Once you get into that setting, everyone's rapt attention to. By the way, if we're talking great shots, my favorite shot's probably when he's smoking the cigarette and angrily looking at Robert De Niro through the little TV behind stage, and then he does the dance, and then they open the curtains. That's probably my favorite.
Yeah, I like the shot too. After he shoots something, and he's like sitting there all happy.
Sits back down. Yeah. I did.
Proud. He's exuding so much pride.
And also beyond pride, he's also like laughing because he's confused because he was planning on killing himself.
Yeah.
So he's like, well, I'm out of bullets. What do I?
Yeah.
He's like, do I dance? I guess I'm gonna dance. And,
yeah, man. It's amazing.
It was terrific.
I wish I had a theater experience for it.
That's fair. I mean, it was awesome in theaters.
But I got a cool story with it, I guess.
You did. I mean, that's a
United
wild.
Airlines it might have been on Delta.
That's a hell of a choice because I can't tell you the last time I watched a movie and I was like, I'm gonna watch that.
Chapter 2's first watch was on a plane as well. Seattle's a long flight, man.
Yeah, that's fair.
I had 5 hours. Those were back-to-backers. Yeah.
Honestly, the way to do it, I used to think it was watch a movie you've already seen. That's not true, because you're gonna feel the permission to just put it down and do something else. You watch something else, you might get wrapped into it and forget for a minute. Yeah. That is a great watch experience.
Man, what a movie.
Yeah.
I don't have anything in the matter bad.
Yeah.
Would you like to hop the meta talk comic book, or what are you thinking?
It's pretty much just that. Look, I'm all about this, separate it from whatever. I'm all about just, as long as we've had at least one version of the character to really latch on and understand this is how the character should be, at its core, whether it be Joker, Batman, whatever. Once we get that, you have my permission to tamper. Yeah. And with Joker, I absolutely give you permission to tamper.
Yeah.
The problem comes with, like, what are we doing if we're having a... Because, it's not like... Venom. Venom has his own solo adventures, whatever. I'm still upset about the spider logo, but I get it. He has his own solo adventures. Mm-hmm. All these things, he's not always directly tied to Peter.
Yeah.
This movie really does not tie itself to Batman in, like, any sense.
Which kind of little Bruce, but yeah.
But even, like, what the fuck does that even mean?
Yeah.
And I get they wanted to tie it to, like, well, this is what happens to the Waynes and whatever. And I like that idea. Mm-hmm. A little bit of inspiration from Batman 89, kind of.
Yeah.
But it is weird. Where are we going? And apparently Joker 2 does not answer that question in a good way at all.
We'll see.
So it's partially that. So the comic bookiness of it. Okay, again, Joaquin could be a phenomenal Joker in an actual Batman movie. Mm-hmm. That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
And even if it's just him and Harley going around the town and blowing things up and doing what they do, I'm fine with that too.
Yeah.
But I want to see that out of them. So that's my complaint for the comic book side. You think just give me something.
Yeah.
Second thing. This is more of just a confusion thing. Well, I guess now we know definitively we're not going into the, he's going to inspire a Joker that's going to become Batman or yada, yada, yada. My question is, like, if we were going to go into he becomes a villain, he goes on the run, whatever, the ending perfectly sets up the idea that he now has on the minions.
Yeah.
Done. He's got henchmen.
Yeah.
Right off the bat. And I thought that was terrific. And I loved that in the movie, that I was like, oh my God, all these people that were inspired by this or whatever, he's right, they're right there. He's got his group already. I thought that was phenomenal. And then it just cuts to him being in Arkham, and I'm like, well, what the fuck was that?
That's fair.
Because he already had the underground situation.
So you're saying it should have just ended with him on the car, basically?
I still do believe it should have ended with him being on the car.
I think that would have been more... I think I could have been on board with that.
I would have been into that, but I will say
what comes after. Yeah.
Now that I've come adjusted to knowing that's not how it ends, I still do. I like the ending. You know, where he's dancing down the hallway and his footsteps are covered in blood. Like, that's a pretty great ambiguous ending. I love that too.
Yeah.
But it just did kind of make me a little sad that I was like, oh man, you had it. You probably should have just ended there.
That's fair. That's fair.
Because you also put yourself in a box now.
Yeah.
Because next movie he has to be in Arkham or he has to be breaking out of Arkham. And frankly, I do not know which one is happening. So we will see.
You'll see in the next video with us two together.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. But, like I said, I really... It's hard for me to find anything I dislike. You could argue the pacing, but I still think it's just everything fits. Mm-hmm. There's nothing I would remove.
I mean, yeah, the things I just put in the math still put it at probably a 9.5.
Yeah.
So I guess I don't want to spoil the ending of this video, but
we'll hop to our final thoughts and ratings. What do you want to leave off with, Joker?
Right. Well, then I'll just.
And where's your score? I mean, you've already hinted at it, but yeah.
I mean, regardless, like I said, those complaints are. I don't even know if I want to say minor, but you have to take the movie as is. You can complain all you want about where it's headed, the direction, whatever. As is, what do you rate the movie? I can't find anything really wrong with the movie.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're like nitpicky stuff, sure, but I think those are always stupid.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a mountain's worth of crap. For the most part, it's still going to set me at like a 9.5 if you ask me personally. But I go by old-fashioned rules. A 0.5 still brings it up a level. Still going to give it a 5 out of 5. That's a 10.
10. Okay. I like it. I'm right there with you. This is a 10 out of 10 movie for me. I think I've watched this movie probably between 7 to 10 times at this point, and it's just each time I can't find anything that, like, I don't know, it's just one of those movies. Every time I throw it on, I thoroughly enjoy it start to finish.
I have a good time every time I watch it,
and so it's gonna be stuck there at the 10 out of 10 for me as well.
All right.
Joaquin Phoenix is the man.
Love to see it.
It's hard to pick who's the best Joker because I love them all. Well, not all
for sure. But I actually don't really know if we're taking Mark Hamill out of the question, live action Jokers, I actually am not sure who I would pick.
Yeah.
It'd probably have to be Heath Ledger, but I still really love Jack Nicholson and Joaquin.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, those are the top three in whatever order.
Joker 2 might actually drop Joaquin out of that for the most part.
I guess we'll see.
From what I've heard. We'll see in the next video.
But hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully it doesn't taint his legacy too much. But
yeah,
based on this first film, I mean, he's up there. He's competing with the dogs, you know. So, but yeah, thank you for this movie.
Thank you.
That'll do it for Joker. Kory, my man.
No, Will. Because you're mean to me.
What did I do?
I was going to quote the movie.
Quote it.
Oh, no, that's it. Don't put me on the spot. That was all I was going to do. Because you were supposed to get what I was saying. I was going to Robert De Niro you.
You're going to shoot me on my own show?
You get what you
just pulled out a gun.
You get what you fucking deserve. And you're a good friend.
Thank you. Thank you all for watching and sticking around for that. Obviously, go check out The Joker before seeing Joker 2. But watch them both.
I think. I'll let you know in the next video.
Give it a chance. But thank you again for watching.
Give it a chance.
Yeah.
What else have you got to do, you fucking nerd? Go out.
Go support the theaters.
What else you got to do?
Go support theaters. Yeah. XD showings all over the place. So.
Support movies being different.
For sure. Thank you guys again for watching. If you like what you're watching, check out some of these other videos. Hit the subscribe button or follow the social links down below. But we will talk to you all soon. Sooner than you might think. Peace.